Candlewick Lake is a gated community that originally started in the 1970s. The lake is man-made, and it was created as a small fishing and camping community. Over the years and decades, it's grown to what it is now, which is a large gated community for year-round living. Over the years that my family has lived here, we've had several issues with the homeowners association. But there's one issue that's come up lately that I can no longer be silent about. In the last 7 years, the population's been dwindling due to the homeowners association taking non-lethal measures, such as painting the eggs to stop them from hatching. However, this year, they've decided that they want to do a roundup, which is where they will take the geese when they are molting and unable to fly, and kill them. Do you think Candlewick geese population is as much a problem this year as it has been in the past?
No, it's not. The actual geese population has gone down 75% in the last 7 years.
Where did you hear that the goose population has actually gone down 75%?
I heard it at the board meeting that was held in May, as well as the one that was held last week, June 3rd.
So how much time was devoted at any of the meetings for the dilemma about the geese?
The first meeting was completely about the geese, where everybody could say pro and cons their feeling about the goose roundup. The second meeting in June, there was only a few minutes that was devoted to the geese. They did a vote, which was a 5-0 vote pro for the goose roundup. I was allowed to speak for 2 minutes, and that was that. After that, they went into talking about bringing a donut truck into Candlewick, which they voted for that also.
Candlewick Lake did have a biologist come out to determine whether or not there was damage being done to the lake by the geese. Were you able to talk to him at all?
Yes, I was able to talk to the biologist a little bit. I had asked him questions in regards to the geese, and he said the best thing for Candlewick Lake would be to decrease the population of the geese by the slaughter. I'd asked questions at the board meeting about the percentages of the geese, and being told that our geese population is down 75% 7 years ago, I had asked the question, what's the quality of our lake water from the goose poop? 7 years ago to now, has it decreased, stayed the same, got worse? I was told that they did not have an answer. How can they not have an answer to that question? If they're going to promote this goose roundup, they should at least be able to tell us the quality of our water strictly from the goose poop, not from the human waste, from 7 years ago to now. And they don't have an answer.
What happened when you showed them several different petitions that you had started that had signatures from not only residents in Candlewick, but residents outside of Candlewick?
At the first meeting, I was able to present the petition to them. At that time, there was only one petition. I was basically laughed at and was told that there are many millions of people in the world. And when you state you have worldwide support, which you did at the meeting, I pointed out the fact that 260 signatures in a world of 6 billion is a drop in the bucket. Your petition, as of May 22nd, had the same number of signers in Argentina as it did from Poplar Grove. And we don't know if all the Poplar Grove signers are Candlewick Lake residents.
They say that a signed petition from Candlewick residents would carry more weight, but when you asked if you could go door to door to get those signatures, what did they tell you?
They told me it's illegal and that I can't go door to door to get these signed signatures for a petition. So how am I supposed to get the signatures unless I go out and actually talk to people door to door?
Shouldn't they take into account that this is a local issue and there are local people interested? They didn't seem at all...
They were not interested in the local communities, their ideas about the goose roundup. They were only concerned about Candlewick Lake residents. And my argument was, well, there's a lot of empty homes here in Candlewick. Other surrounding communities and people's opinions matter because they all are potential home buyers.
Is it true that the main worry about the geese is the property damage?
There's two issues. The one is the property damage. People are complaining that there's too much poop on their lawns, too much poop on the boat docks, too much poop at the playgrounds. I, for one, have not seen many geese out here this year and have not had any problems with the poop on the playgrounds or at the beach.
Now, isn't it true that several times a year for the last couple of years they've had to close down the lake?
Yes, they have. They have had to close down the lake.
Do they claim that it's because of the geese?
It's due to aqua dumping human waste into the directly into the lake, and that's been done quite a few times over the last few years.
So it's not really the geese that are damaging our property values then?
Right, it is not the geese. It is actually aqua dumping human waste.
Generally, Candlewick is a pretty nice place to live. There are quite a few rules here. As you can see, the common areas are kept long. They're very specific about how they want their residents to keep their property, but a lot of the common areas that they're responsible for caring for are left untended for weeks, if not months at a time. We've had people from the Candlewick Lake Association in our lawn measuring with a ruler and then ticketing us for having our lawn too high. It takes away from the original purpose of this place, which was a relaxing spot to get away and enjoy nature for camping. There's lots of empty and untended houses, and yet they keep building more and more and more while these houses sit empty. Now, they had a meeting to discuss the geese, but is it true that they had already gone for the permit and got approved before even bringing the issue forward to the public?
Yes, I found out in their paper and their meeting notes that they had already approved and they had already applied and they already had approved the permit to do the goose roundup, where at the meeting they said that they had not, that they were open for discussion from the residents of Candlewick Lake. And obviously it was just a done deal and the meeting was only a formality.
So no matter what kind of support would have shown for the geese that night at the meeting, it just wouldn't have mattered. They'd already had their permit.
Right, correct. They already had gotten their permit.
So public opinion here does not matter. Whether or not the public actually finds the geese a nuisance does not matter. It is all up to the homeowners association.
Yes, it is all up to the board members. The 5 board members that were there to vote on it, they're the only ones that have control over this.
How much money has the board decided to spend on this roundup?
The board has budgeted $3,000. It's going to cost an excess of $3,000 to catch the geese, to process the geese. I feel that it is a very huge waste of money for our association to use our money for. Prevention hasn't been used yet. They said that they have tried every avenue, but they have not. They could go and they could purchase a goosinator, which is a remote control device to help. They haven't tried sprays yet to help get the goose population down. There are many other avenues they haven't tried. We don't even have do not feed the geese signs up. Any park you go to, they always have do not feed the wildlife signs. We don't have anything as simple as that. To me, education is a very big key here. People that are for the roundup of these geese, to me, they are very selfish and very vain. The only thing they are concerned about is the poop on their lawns. Again, there is a way for them to deter the geese coming up onto the property, letting the grass grow behind their property on the lakefront. There are many other things they could do. They could put flags up with string. They could use their dogs to scare the geese away. Many other avenues have not been taken. This is a temporary fix for a big problem. Killing these geese is not going to solve the problem. More geese are going to come to the lake every year. Yes, we have resident geese, but having the open water, it's always going to attract more geese to our area.
Isn't it true that swans are also a way to prevent geese, and we used to have swans?
Yes, we used to have swans, beautiful swans. Candlewick Lake was that was one of the good things people knew Candlewick Lake for, was our swans. But they cut the swans out because they said they were too expensive. They said the cost of $1,300 a year was way too expensive.
Not only has Candlewick not pursued other avenues of getting rid of the geese, they got rid of one of our better avenues and are now spending double the amount to kill the geese.
Yes, they are. They are spending double the money to take the geese out of Candlewick Lake.
Candlewick Lake boasts about their wildlife in their About Us section on their website. So why are they so against these geese, which are at their smallest number here in 7 years? All residents pay dues, and the 5 board members of the Homeowners Association had decided to take $3,000 of those dollars to apply for and receive a permit to kill the geese before presenting the idea to the residents. They had already intended to vote in favor of the goose slaughter when they finally did hold a meeting to tell the residents, and nothing we could have done would have changed their minds. My family doesn't want our money spent on this slaughter when there's so much else that needs to be improved. And there are many, many others who feel the same and are afraid to come forward. If you live in Candlewick and don't want to support the goose roundup, please call and tell them. 30 innocent lives depend on it. If you don't live in Candlewick but would like to support the geese, please call as well and sign our petitions. The links will be at the end of this video, and all information and phone numbers provided are publicly available. You can't create a lake in an area that used to be marsh and farmland and then be surprised when wildlife continues to show up. For many years, parks like this one in Candlewick Lake have been overrun by geese, but this year hardly any have been spotted. Is this an issue that really does still exist? Or are we too late to save the geese already?